Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today in this webinar. I'm Zach Comer, Managing Director and CEO of Equinox Resources. And today I'm excited to take you through our Alturas Antimony project, one of the highest graded antimony deposits in the world. As we know, antimony is a fascinating, highly strategic metal. I've just joined the webinar. I'm not sure if this was touched on, but the English word for antimony or antimony derives from the Greek word anti, which means opposed, and monos, which means solitude. And that reflects that antimony is rarely occurs alone in nature, and instead it has a strong affinity to sulfur-bearing minerals or stibnite, SBS, and it's formed in association with key metals such as copper, lead and gold. Our Alturas project presents a compelling case for investors as we have high grades, and I'll step you through the project and why Alturas is a standout project and aligns with Equinox's growth strategy. I'm clicking.
All right, it looks like I might have to drive it for you. Sorry.
Thanks. Yep, we could go to the map now. Thanks, Andrew. So at Equinox Resources, we've built a strategically diverse portfolio of critical mineral projects spanning multiple jurisdictions and commodities essential for the future. Our portfolio consists of high-value projects across North America, South America, and Australia, each targeting metals crucial for modern industry, energy storage, manufacturing, and infrastructure. Our Alturas Antimony project is located in BC in Canada. We have a titanium project called Mata da Corda in the state of Minas Gerais in Brazil, where we're building up to a mineral resource. We're getting some great intercepts there of 70 meters, up to 12% titanium. It also comes with rare earth and niobium credits. We also have a rare earth project in Cabo Grande in the state of Bahia in Brazil, which hosts monazite sand and bauxite. And then we have our Hamersley iron ore project in the Pilbara in Western Australia, which is a JORC-compliant direct shipping resource of 108.5 million tonnes at 58% iron, which is only a fraction of the 450 million tonnes across the mining lease. So each of our projects at Equinox offers a strong growth opportunity for the market, driven through resource scarcity and supply chain constraints. So the Alturas project is strategically located in the Slocan mining division, southeast of British Columbia, an area rich in mining history, known for its high-grade silver, lead, zinc, antimony, as well as metallurgical coal deposits and projects. The project sits 15 kilometers northeast of New Denver in a region supporting mining for over a century. One of the standouts for our project is its infrastructure and access. We have road access up to the project. Then we have sealed roads leading direct to major highways. Alturas is just 100 kilometers from the Canadian Pacific rail network, providing direct access to the Port of Vancouver if we want to export any product. And it's also in very close proximity to two major antimony smelters in North America who we are engaging with. It's actually just 400 kilometers south of a well-known antimony smelter in Montana, and we're looking at processing options there. The project is also surrounded by ongoing mining operations as shown on the map, with a combination of the strong infrastructure, excellent market access, proximity to processing facility. We're kind of well positioned where we are in BC. So the Alturas Antimony project isn't just a promising exploration target, it's a proven historical mine which produced antimony back in the 1950s and 1926 from the historic Alps Alturas mine. Significant early producer of exceptional high-grade ore. During its operating years, the mine reported direct shipments of ore averaging an impressive 57.2% SB, with peak concentrations up to 60% SB. To put this into perspective, these are one of the highest grades in the world. The project in those years shipped out approximately 100 tons of high-grade ore to smelters in Scotland, in Glasgow, as well as smelters in New Jersey City and Chicago in the States. The historical records confirms that Alturas is a well-endowed system with proven ability to produce high-grade ore. Supporting this, the images here show some of the old historic mine workings, the entrance to the old mining attics, the underground tunnels, some of the mining equipment left behind that our geological team have uncovered. What makes the project exciting is, despite the historical production nature, the team have found out that much of the mineralized systems is still untested with modern exploration techniques, and our goal is to systematically explore and unlock that high-grade potential. So, building on the historic production success of Alturas, we've moved quickly just before the snow season last year. Our exploration campaign confirmed the presence of ultra high grade antimony across a 1.5 kilometre long shear zone, and in section there's widths of up to 500 meters across that shear zone. And sampling has delivered exceptional results, standout grades confirmed from that historic mine up to 69.98% antimony. Pure stibnite is graded at 71.4%, so we're kind of reaching that pure grade stibnite, and the grades are there on the page from some of the rock chip samples the team have collected. The mapped shear zone extending over the 1.5 kilometre long it is within the 6.3 square kilometre project area, comprising of the old mining attics and an open cut area. The location diagram on the top right illustrates the continuity in the mineralization across that shear zone, with key sampling across that shear zone reporting those high grades. We've also found a copper bearing system east of the property of up to 1% copper, which kind of outlines antimony doesn't tend to come by itself, and we have a copper bearing system over to the east. We haven't explored further west, but from old historical reports, there's reports of up to 1,500 grams per tonne of silver to the east, which we're hoping to get across once the weather permits. Our team will actively start surveying that terrain to the west to assess the geological formations and look at the mineralization, and then start mapping across that entire strike length. It kind of confirms with the early movement, Alturas is a truly high-grade antimony system with significant upside. So, as part of our near-term development pathway, Equinox is advancing the project with a structured and disciplined exploration and development strategy, ensuring we maximize value through efficiently de-risking the project. We have a notice of work permit in submission and approval process that we are monitoring, and we are in consultation on land use, which is currently underway. Geophysical and field mapping would be undertaken soon once the snow clears, and that systematic airborne magnetics and radiomatic surveys will help define drill targets. And then we're going to kick off a diamond drill campaign expected to commence following the field work on the targeted areas across that 1.5 kilometre long shear zone to kind of then highlight the extent and the depth of the antimony that we see at surface. As part of the luxury of the notice of work permit, we have the ability to extract 10,000 tonnes of high-grade material to generate cash flow. And beyond this, we'll end up submitting a full 75,000 tonne per annum small mining permit based on that initial drill program results. But the key thing is for us to extract that 10,000 tonnes, and at today's antimony prices, that generates revenue for Equinox to help develop this project. And we're in discussions with offtake agreements regarding that extraction pathway. In British Columbia province in Canada is actively supporting development of critical minerals with a dedicated critical minerals office now in place, provides regulatory guidance and funding support, facilitates First Nation engagement and agreements, streamlines permitting, project approval timelines, advocate for single and coordinated environmental reviews. The goal is clear: reduce regulatory red tape and bottlenecks to accelerate approvals and encourage investment. At Equinox, we are engaging with the mining ministry, and this presents a timely opportunity with BC focused on critical minerals such as antimony, and Alturas is well positioned to benefit from this new permitting landscape and increased investor interest. So in summary, Alturas has the potential to be a low capital cost, direct shipping in stage one, high margin antimony development, a rare opportunity in today's market. To summarize, it used to be an old historical mine. We've got boots on ground that have confirmed those ultra high grade results of up to 70% stibnite. It's located in an outstanding tier 1 mining jurisdiction with strong infrastructure, significant exploration upside with mineralization confirmed across an open cut and within the underground mine attics. Some of those old photos go in 50 meters deep and the team could see stibnite across that entire wall. Significant, strategically located North American supply chain, reducing the reliance on potential foreign imports or us exporting through smelters located in North America. We have a 1.5 kilometre long shear zone with heaps of upside. Permitting is underway with a clear timeline for near-term development. And our key there is to really extract that 10,000 tonnes to get some cash flow. That kind of concludes my presentation. Open the floor, any questions?
Excellent, thank you, Zach. Great way to finish our antimony webinar. Just a couple of questions. Just in regards to the drilling program, can you run through sort of the timeline and expected milestones as you move towards resource definition?
Yeah, our planned drilling program at Alturas is designed to define that high-grade initial exploration that we did along that 1.5 kilometre long shear zone. We will begin with a targeted diamond drilling program to confirm continuity, depth of extension, grade distribution, focus on the areas of the historic high-grade production and our recent assays. The key milestones include doing the geophysical work initially to identify those drill targets, the field work, and then kicking off drilling. As part of our stage one, I don't plan to build into a resource initially. That will come in the future. Let's extract the ore, get some cash flow, and then we'll kind of develop processing later on. So these steps kind of near-term cash flow and future development into the future.
And in terms of being on the ground in BC, are there any, how's the access, how's the infrastructure, and importantly, how's the workforce?
Yeah, we've got a great team within BC and Canada. I actually passed up a lot of antimony projects within Alaska and BC, which tends to be high-grade hotspots, even some projects up to 38% from old mine workings. But when you take a step back and look at these projects in Alaska or other parts of BC, you need to look at the infrastructure, and infrastructure was lacking in those areas. So I had to walk away from those deals, but ultimately Alturas is situated 15 kilometers from a town, New Denver. There's roads, there's rail in place. There's a road to a smelter, which is 400 kilometers away. We have a trail road up to the project site. It is rugged terrain, but great infrastructure in place to kind of access the project area.
And can you provide some insights into the level of interest in antimony in BC, in Canada? Obviously, we've heard from Australian-based companies with their projects, but just tell us, can you provide, I guess, just this global sort of overview of the level of interest?
Yeah, just because of the export restrictions from China has sparked a frenzy. There's come across antimony projects all across the globe. There's actually a lot kicking off in Thailand these days. But what we're seeing in that North American pocket with Alaska as well as BC and also Quebec, just ultra high grades, which as part of our stage one, we're just looking at a DSO product, getting ore off the ground and straight to a smelter and removing the need for beneficiation. So compared to other projects ranging from anywhere from 0.5 to 4 or 5% antimony, the compelling case for what we're seeing in that northern part of North America is high grade with some great gold projects. You'll see some other ASX listed companies like Nova Minerals who has some great gold within their Alaska deposit and some very ultra high grade stibnite as well. And our stage two, as part of that process, is looking at building a concentrator later on to kind of get a 65% SB product out to market for optimal smelter returns. But US Antimony Corp, Perpetua, they're all trying to find their sources within the US, but where it's held is within Alaska and BC and Quebec. So a lot of interest in those regions, and grade is king, which Alturas has.